Hello and welcome to Unscripted. I'm Aaron Lingdor.
I'm Francesca Mascarenas, and this week we're at Cafe Public Connection.
As it gets to the middle of February, the full love charade begins.
And with Valentine's Day just around the corner, the two of us have been arguing again about what all the fuss is.
It's gonna take me quite some time to convince this one, so in the meanwhile, let's dive straight into this episode of Unscripted.
The American Super Bowl this year had a spectacular performance at halftime by Lady Gaga.
She opened her set with a rendition of God Bless America and later on went to perform some of her biggest hits.
Without a doubt, Gaga lived up to all her fans' expectations, complete with performing on the rooftop of the arena and other acrobatic feats, extravagant costume changes and all that jazz.
Padma Lakshmi, who is one of India's first international supermodels, caught up with Francesca when she was in New Delhi earlier this week promoting some of her latest books. Let's go check out what they're chatting about.
Hello and welcome. I'm with supermodel, actress, TV presenter, food expert and author, the gorgeous Padma Lakshmi, here at the American Center in New Delhi. Thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's an honor to share screen space with you.
Thank you.
Before I start chatting about your books and what you're doing here in India, I'd like to applaud your journey so far. You're such an inspiration, not just for women, but for South Asian women around the world. Tell us a little bit about Padma. Let's get to know you. Let's start right at the very beginning.
I think I feel very much an Indian girl, just like you or most people here, but I haven't grown up here. I've obviously grown up most of my life in America, and so I do also feel very American. And I would say that the biggest headline of my identity would be that I am a woman who is straddling two cultures and two ways of life. But those ways of life, because of what's happening globally, are slowly merging closer and closer together for everyone.
So what about the young Padma? What did she want to be, or what did she aspire to be back then?
You know, when I was 4, I went to America for the first time, and I went as an unaccompanied minor.
Okay.
And you couldn't do that now. But I think one of the first things I wanted to be was an airline hostess, which is what we call them now. Now we call them flight attendants or air stewardesses. But I wanted to be an airline hostess. I would see these glamorous women with these big bouffants and Sharmila Tagore eyeliner with these printed silk saris fluttering up and down the aisles. You know, I see them whisking away from Paris to Rome and their Samsonite beauty cases, and they just seemed so larger than life.
Yeah. But how did the entertainment industry happen to you? Did you want to be a model? I know you studied theater.
Yeah.
So how did you get into entertainment?
No, I mean, I think, you know, I felt like I was a pretty girl, but because of the scar on my arm that I got when I was 14, I never thought that I was, you know, like those girls that you saw in magazines. Yeah. And it was in my last semester of studying in Spain that a modeling agent kind of picked me out, and I started modeling because I had a lot of college loans, so that is kind of how I got my foot in the door. And you know, I probably would have just gone back to my mother's house after graduation and tried, you know, my hand in Hollywood a lot sooner. But I was able to model and I was able to see the world, and it was a very, very juicy life for a young girl.
Top Chef happened, and you've become like a household name with that. And do you think your Indian heritage sort of helped in any way with, you know, your culinary skills?
It definitely helped. Yeah. It absolutely helped because, you know, Indians are obsessed with food.
Yeah.
And totally obsessed with food. And my family was no different. And so most of the activity in our homes, whether it was my mother's home or my grandmother's home, was always focused around food. There was always some stage of cooking going on. Here in Chennai, where I would live with my family, we were 8 or 10 of us. So there was some meal being prepared. And I think my grandmother's an extraordinary cook. and she's very knowledgeable. And so I don't think I could have written the Encyclopedia of Spices and Herbs if it wasn't for that early introduction to all these wonderful seeds and twigs that were these, little tiny explosions of flavor. And from there, I always had to look for the foods of my own culture in America.
So let's talk about your memoir, Love, Loss, and What We Ate. What motivated you to, put it all down in words? And what do you exactly hope that, women will take away from it?
Well, it started out because every time I went on a red carpet, people would say, how do you stay so slim and do your job? Which is a mighty good question because it's not easy. And I love to eat, So I think the short answer is obviously you have to exercise a lot. And when I'm not filming, you have to make up for it and really tighten your belt. No dairy, no meat, no wheat. No sugar, no alcohol, no fried foods.
Oh, that's sad, isn't it?
It is sad, but it's just like a pendulum, right? It has to swing both ways, otherwise there's no balance. And so the book that I intended to write was an attempt to explain this and explain a lot of the philosophies I had about food using the personal details of my life.
And we welcomed you back to the Indian Ramps last week at the Lakme Fashion Week.
Oh my gosh,
How was that?
I had forgotten how much I love doing fashion shows. Honestly, I haven't done a fashion show in about over a decade.
Really?
I'm embarrassed to say how long. And I've never walked in Mumbai Fashion Week. I had done a couple of fashion shows here and there, but I never really worked as a model here in India, and it felt so good. Tarun Tahiliani is a designer I've really admired and who's a personal friend. So I felt safe with him. I'm really here on book tour for these two books.
Yeah.
It was very important to me that average Indian readers
get
the memoir and get to know me as an author. And it's been wonderful to travel the country. This is my third city. We also just came from Hyderabad, and we're going to Bangalore with the Hindu Huddle, and then we'll be going back to Chennai. And I think my last event is on Valentine's.
Oh, lovely. I wish you all the success for your books and
Thank
for your
you.
life ahead. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.
Have you read her memoir yet?
Not yet, but I do have my copy, so now all I need is some sun and sand to read and relax.
Well, everything is about a vacation with you.
Well, shouldn't it be? Let's take a quick break now, and when we come back, we're taking you to the Lakme Fashion Week Summer Resort 2017. And later we're reviewing Narendra Kumar's latest collection, so don't go anywhere.
Hello and welcome back to Unscripted. The 69th Directors Guild Awards took place last weekend prior to Hollywood's Academy Awards that will take place later this month.
The event honors directors who've achieved greatness throughout the year in film and television.
Hollywood directors named Damien Chazelle as this year's Best Director for his film La La Land.
Now, most winners at the DGA go on to win top honors at the Oscars. So let's wait and watch to see if the same is true for La La Land.
And the winner is Damien Chazelle, La La Land.
The Lakme Fashion Week Summer Resort 2017 took place in Mumbai last week, and Francesca was there brushing shoulders with the fashionistas. Let's go check out the highlights.
Resort 2017 here in Mumbai. It was a perfect marriage between fashion, glamour and social welfare. Though fashion and celebrities go hand in hand, this year the Fashion Week decided to go one step further to eliminate differences in society. Nepal's Anjali Lama became the first transgender model to walk the ramp in India. From striking features to a magnificent presence on the runway, Anjali Lama made sure that she kept every eye glued to her. Not just Anjali, but there were others too who graced the ramp for the first time, leaving social barriers aside. It was a dream come true kind of moment for girls from Mumbai's red light area who sashayed down the ramp for designer Mandeep Nagi of Shades of India. Celebrity designers participating in this 5-day event are Nishka Lulla, Ritu Kumar, Narendra Kumar, Falguni and Shane Peacock and Anita Dongre, just to name a few. Let's go take a look. Big names from the world of fashion descended on the runway with their latest collections. From pastels to crystal embellishments, the shows had a plethora of designs and styles for buyers to choose from. And no Indian fashion show is complete without a starry ending, and this year too was no different, with Bollywood bigwigs present at the event. While some cheered for the designers, others dazzled the runway with their style. It was a sight for sore eyes when actor Varun Dhawan, along with Arjun Kapoor, opened the show for designer Kunal Rawal. Preeti Zinta made her first public appearance after getting married and walked the ramp for designer Sanjukta Datta. Dressed in a black sari, Preeti surely made heads turn with her ethnic look. Vani Kapoor was the showstopper for label Ritu Kumar's new collection, and designer duo Falguni and Shane Peacock had Bipasha Basu as their showstopper. Rahul Khanna walked the ramp for Narendra Kumar, and Tarun Tahiliani showcased his pastel collection with supermodel Padma Lakshmi as his showstopper. Other celebrities who walked the ramp were Karishma Kapoor, Nimrit Kaur, Diana Penty, Sushmita Sen and Malaika Arora Khan, to name a few. But Kareena Kapoor Khan dominated the entire week by walking the ramp for the Fashion Week's finale show by designer Anita Dongre. In a flowing white and gold ensemble, Kareena returned to the ramp post her delivery and looked drop-dead gorgeous. With the latest fashion trends and celebrity sightings, Lakme Fashion Week Summer Resort 2017 surely gave us some serious fashion goals for the season.
An event full of glitz and glamour. Now let's go check out Narendra Kumar's latest collection. He's one of the most prolific Indian fashion designers of our time, and he has gloriously elevated menswear to an all-new level. His Summer Resort 2017 collection stayed true to his eclectic vibe at the Lakme Fashion Week this year. From neutral daytime looks to bright printed patterns, fashionistas witnessed a youthful lineup of clothing at Narendra Kumar's Summer Resort collection this year. The collection revolved around shades of wine, aqua and black. Printed bomber jackets, loose shirts worn over t-shirts and white high tops brought in that cool boy charm. Narendra opted for silk, velvet and lush surface rendering to his bespoke jackets. My favorite from the runway has to be the color block jackets. They're fun, flirty and right on point. Accessories from eyewear to casual neck pieces, and those printed scarves should definitely get off the ramp and into your closet. And the show-stopping entry was the very suave Rahul Khanna, who donned an embroidered jacket with fitted pants. Always expect the unconventional and completely off-the-hook creation when it comes to a Narendra Kumar fashion show. An eclectic wardrobe, indeed, is the need of the hour.
It was a fab show, but now it's put me in holiday mood again.
Francesca, weren't you saying that if you love your job so much, you don't need to go on vacation or something like that?
Isn't it time for a break?
I think it is. We're taking a very short break here on the show. When we come back, we'll have our movie review of the week and the latest music and movies trending on our charts. Don't go far.
Welcome back. You're watching Unscripted, your weekly dose of entertainment from South Asia and around the world.
The Annie Awards that honors the year's Best Animated Film took place last weekend.
Now, animation is a big deal in Hollywood, with 4 animated films, Sing, Zootopia, Finding Dory and The Secret Lives of Pets, making box office records in 2016.
The awards honors directors, writers, character design, storyboarding and voicing of the film, as well as choosing the best feature film,
which this year went to Zootopia.
Coming through!
This is Officer McCorn. We got a 1031.
I got dibs! Officer Hobbs, I am in pursuit! Woo, woo.
Our movie pick of the week is Resident Evil, the final chapter. Let's go check out our review.
Resident Evil, the final chapter, is the 6th and final film in the series. It is a sci-fi action film written and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Now, as the name suggests, this is the final chapter, and so the story had to revolve around the end of the zombie plague caused by the notorious T virus.
10 years ago in Raccoon City, there was an outbreak.
Though the story was pretty much predictable,
across the world within
slight
days.
twists and turns in the second half deserve some appreciation.
Or another, our world is coming to an end. The question is, will we end with it?
It is a delight to watch Mila Jovovich in her action avatar. Her killer looks and rugged body keeps your eyes glued to the screen.
We played a long game, you and I, but now it's over.
The action sequence is what makes this zombie series different from others in the genre. But by this film, all of it became quite repetitive. Elaborate visual effects played a major role in the cinematography of the film. Though the overall setup was quite similar, certain specific scenes were a beautiful addition. The burning tower and Razor's death in the trap were crafted with extreme precision.
Grab some gear.
Let's see what people on social media are saying about the film.
This film is also trying extremely hard to force a completely unearned sense of finality. The music and the pseudo-badassery that's cut together in a way that's so manipulative to make you think that something amazing just happened.
The way the thing is shot and edited is beyond ridiculous. The Bourne Ultimatum looks like it was shot on a tripod.
It is a high-paced action movie which will definitely not bore you, and it will be more entertaining for those of you who have been following the series.
Umbrella developed an airborne antivirus.
For a new viewer, there might be a slight disconnect, but all in all, it is a well-packaged movie in the zombie genre.
What is that? Revenge.
We can end on this. I have to get to the hive.
Since it is the final film in the series, and if you're an ardent fan, then definitely head over to the theatres to watch this one. However, if you have a big screen and a lot of patience, then our recommendation would be to wait at home for the DVD or the online version to release.
That was our review of the movie Resident Evil, the final chapter. Hope it helps you decide whether you want to go watch the movie or not.
Up next, we have the music which is trending on our charts. Go take a look so you don't miss out.
Deepa is a song from the movie Rangoon. It is sung by an ensemble of talented singers like Sukhwinder Singh, Sunidhi Chauhan, Rekha Bharadwaj and O.S. Arun. The music is composed by Vishal Bharadwaj. Hare Krishna Hare Ram is a song from the movie Commando 2. It is sung by Arman Malik and Ritika. The music is recreated by Gaurav Roshan from the original composition by Preetam. Lohe the Liver is a song from the movie Aa Gaya Hero. It is sung by Mika Singh and the music is composed by Meet Brothers. Mariah Carey has made a comeback with her new music video named I Don't, featuring YG. Mariah is seen burning her own wedding dress in the video that has upbeat and funky music.
Will she love me? I'm still seeing.
Blossoms goes back in time with their new Honey Sweet video. The music and the visuals both manage to take us on a nostalgic trip.
Incomplete. I wanna know if this road belongs. There's been times I gave myself to someone else, to someone lesser than you.
James Blunt has released his new single named Love Me Better. The music and lyrics are a combination of heartfelt poignancy with Blunt's classic touch. Mariah is back, and after how long?
Feels like forever. You know, when I was little, she was one of my favorite singers. I used to use my hairbrush like a mic and dance around and sing out loud.
I'm sure that might be quite a sight.
Well, come on, don't tell me you didn't do something similar.
Well, that is something you will never know. Should we go and check out what movies are releasing this week?
I think we should.
Nobody's ever real, you know.
My best friend isn't even real.
Tell me
The
about
Space Between Us is a romantic sci-fi film directed by Peter Chelsom and written by Alan Lowe. The film stars Asa Butterfield, Gary Oldman and Britt Robertson.
I want to go to Earth.
He's met less than 15 people.
That kills you 7 days after you watch it.
Rings is a supernatural horror film directed by F. Javier Gutierrez. It stars Matilda Lutz, Alex Rowe and Johnny Galecki.
That's when she's coming for me.
जब कभी इस देश में दो लोगों के बीच किसी बात पे कोई विवाद होता है तो आदमी एक दूसरे से क्या कहता है? I will see you in court.
Jolly LLB 2 is an Indian comedy drama written and directed by Subhash Kapoor, a sequel to the 2013 film Jolly LLB. The film stars Akshay Kumar, Uma Qureshi, Saurabh Shukla and Anu Kapoor.
प्रमोद अपना फार्मूला बताते नहीं, तुम निश्चिंत रहो, कुछ नहीं होगा.
Aaron, don't you think this loves me not rigmarole is a bit much?
Well, don't be a party pooper. Anyways, love is in the air.
Well, if you say so. So that brings us to the end of another episode of Unscripted.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter or write in to tell us how much you love the show.
See you next week at the same time, only on WION.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Francesca. See ya.
Happy Valentine's Day to you, Francesca.
Oh, thank you. And happy Valentine's Day to all our viewers.